Hello everyone, my name is Rupak Banerjee and I stay in Kolkata. I love reading books and I thought of sharing my ideas and my love for books with all of you with my vlog. What I want to share with you here is how much books I have read in 2021, what kind of genre of books I love, and what are the books that I plan to read in 2022. If you like the vlog, you can subscribe, you can give your comments, and we can also share ideas about new books and new ideas and genres of books that are going to come in 2022. So before I start my vlog and share with you the books that I have already read, let me tell you a little bit about my reading habits. I love to read everything, starting from comics, novels, historical novels, romantic novels, murder mysteries, non-fiction, you name it, I like it. But out of them, gradually as I have grown old, I have made my own choices. Now, 2021 was not a very happy year for all of us because it happened to have all the restrictions of COVID, and because of the COVID restrictions, we could not visit the bookstores and my favorite place for buying books, College Street. So, over and above, it was an average year for me as regards to my books are concerned. But still, I had a pretty good score of books that I have read. I will not go into the numbers of books that I have read, but I will share with you few of the books that I liked the most. So the first book that I would like to share with you is a Japanese mystery. It's a murder mystery from Japan, and he is well acclaimed, Kigo Higashino, and the name of the book is Malice. But unfortunately, I didn't like it very much. But as the tide was going, I wanted to try out a Japanese mystery as well. The book that I loved was a book that I read for the third time, and again in 2021 I read it once more. The Lost Horizon by James Hilton. It's a novelization of an idea of Shangri-La. I would not like to give you a spoiler, but James Hilton had written this book pretty much earlier, and it is an idea about a group of tourists who had a plane crash and they landed into a place in between Himalayas, which is having a fourth dimension. So this is a concept which I was always intrigued about, a place where time stops. Nobody ages, nobody dies, and this is called the fourth dimension. So this book is all about the fourth dimension or Shangri-La. So the next book that I would like to share with you is the book which has been making headlines around. Chandrachud Ghosh and Anuj Dhar wrote a book, Conundrum, a national hero and a perennial hero with all Bengalis and all Indians of our side, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. So Conundrum is a pretty thick book, a pretty well-researched book of the non-fiction category, and I loved it. I loved it because the way he has researched, both the authors, the way they have researched it and way they have put it down, I have not found it a little bit of tedious throughout the entire reading. And I recommended it all the people who would like to know more about Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose and the controversy around Gumnami Baba. This has been also made into a major a major movie. The very next book that I want to share with you is non-fiction by Holger Kirsten, published by Penguin. This book I have reread in 2021. Recently, in the beginning of this year, I visited Kashmir, and I wanted to visit this place which is mentioned in this book, that probably Jesus had spent some time in India. So the concept of the book is Jesus lived in India and he tried to prove that there is a chance that there is a shrine in India where the remains of Lord Jesus remains. I was very much fascinated by this book. Very much fascinated. Very, very well researched nonfiction. And it moves at the pace of a thriller. It moves at the pace of a thriller. So I love this book and I recommend it strongly to people who love non-fiction and research based. Coming to the last but not the least of the books that I have loved reading in 2021 is my all-time favorite for mysteries and murder mysteries. None other than the grand dame of murder mystery in English language, Agatha Christie. And the book that I would mention over here is The Murder at the Vicarage, an excellent example of the deductive abilities of this old lady, Miss Marple. I would not like to give any spoilers because majority of you must have already read this book. But the dexterity of writing a mystery and the dexterity of the plot is what makes Agatha Christie the empress of all murder mystery writers. So these are the books that I have read in 2021. Apart from the other books that I have not mentioned here, these are the books which stand aside or stand out as one of my best books that I have read in 2021. My reading habits have evolved over the ages, and I should mention a couple of people over here who have impacted my reading habits down the ages. The first person, of course, is my father. My father was the person who introduced me to this lovely world of books. And he inculcated this habit of reading in me. And I thank him from the bottom of my heart, because in the books that I read and in the stories that I read, I still find my father, whom I lost in 2013. So the next person that I want to mention over here is Vineet Abraham. Vineet is a very good friend of mine. Though I haven't met him, I have only had telephonic talks with him, but still I am indebted to him for the wealth of information that he has shared with me in the very short span of time that I have known him. And I happen to know him from Facebook, and then we started talking to each other, and Vineet has given me a lot of books. He is such a magnanimous character. He loves people who love books, and he loves to give people books when he finds them that they genuinely love books. So thank you, Vineet. If you are watching this, and I have not taken your permission mentioning your name here, but I think I can take that liberty. So Vineet Abraham introduced me to the golden age of detection. And the golden age of detection involves writers apart from Agatha Christie, N.Guy Marsh, John Dixon Carr, and not many others. And these were the names not known to me earlier. So the next book that I will be reading in 2022 is one book that was recommended by Vineet Abraham, and I happened to get it in a bargain from Amazon. Is Otto Penzler edited book, The Pulp Fiction Villains. This book I bought from Amazon for only 295 rupees. It's a pretty thick volume, more than 530 pages, and has all the best writers of the golden age fiction. Earl Stanley Gardner, Leslie Charteris, Frank Gruber, you name it, they have it. So this is the book I'm looking forward to complete in 2022 as soon as possible. Another book that I would like to mention over here is a Bengali book which is on travel. We all know Shyama Prasad Mukherjee being one of the leading political figures of his time and the son of Sir Ashutosh Mukhopadhyay. The younger brother of Shyama Prasad Mukhopadhyay is Uma Prasad Mukhopadhyay. He is one of the most famous travel writers in Bengal. So this is the first edition of Mitra and Ghosh published Uma Prasad Mukhopadhyay Bhramon Omnivash. It's a book in Bengali, and it entails the travels of Uma Prasad Mukhopadhyay in the Himalayas and other parts of our country. About our perennial favorite, my perennial favorite, Satyajit Ray. This is a non-fiction, a book actually written by Bijoya Rai, but translated in English by Indrani Majumdar, a Penguin publication, Manik and I. So I'm looking forward to complete this book because this is a non-fiction which entails the life of Bijoy Rai and Satyajit Ray, the maestro himself. So long for this week. I have made an effort to share with you all, my reading likes and dislikes, as well as what are the books that I'm planning to read, what are the books I have already read. In the coming week, I would like to also share some of the other books that I have read in 2021 and some of the other features of my reading habits. If you happen to like this video, please click the like button and subscribe. And if you don't like, please write the comment what you didn't like about this video. Thank you very much. Good night. Take care.